In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a chevron Afghan just like this. Now this doesn't look like an Afghan, does it? Today's tutorial I'm going to show you the secrets to making a chevron Afghan in any size that you wish. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. Today's tutorial is all about experiencing the chevron Afghan just like this. Now this is just a tutorial sample, but what I did is I figured out how to make this Afghan in any size. So I have a chart here and I'm going to provide this chart in the more information of this video. Now this is actually stemming from a pattern called the Zig Zag Baby Blanket from Karen, and I'm going to provide a link for that particular pattern with this as well. So what we're having today is that each chevron is made up of 25 of single crochet or 25 chains to start. And so what happens is that we're gonna go up and we're gonna say 25 and then 25, and then at the very end we're going to add 2 chains for the beginning and then 3 chains for the end. So no matter what size that you want to make it, you just have to keep going in groups of 25. So 25, 25, 25, and I measured it to, for this sample here, this is the Bernat little tots or little tots. And basically what this is that I measured from edge to edge, and it's about 5.5 inches wide in order to make it. So you can make it in any size that you wish. Now you should know that when you're doing these chains of 25, the chains are going to be much longer than this example. It's going to be much wider, but the thing about it is that the chains have to dip down and dip back up, therefore it uses the extra of the chain in order to make it more narrow. So you just have to keep that in mind. But this is a really easy pattern, and let's get started now. So here's the pattern that we're going to be referencing today. This is a free pattern available on Yarnspirations.com. There's a link in the more information of this video if you'd like to access this. Now this is a really generous size. It's actually about 32 inches wide by 60 inches long. So it's almost as like twice as long as it is wide. Again, that creativity is up to you on how big that you really want to make it. Today I'm going to be showing you how to be able to do these chevrons that you see here, and I'm going to be showing you how to change the sizes. So if you want to make it a little more narrower, or if you want to make it wider, and again you don't have to go as long either, but if you're looking for a difference of color transitions as far as you know, doing the same stitch work of colors, you know, that's up to you on how big that you want to make it. So the information is all just provided in words, just like so. Of course I have to write on my patterns as well, but what I did for myself is that I wanted to figure out what's going to happen is if I change sizes. So I did provide a diagram for myself in order to figure it out. I actually did the words first, and then I did a diagram based on what I could actually see was going on. So what we're going to be doing today is that we're going to be chaining in groups of 25 that we go, and this will take you to the repeat patterns, and then we just have to add 3 onto the end. So I'm using a 5.5 millimeter size I crochet hook today. I'm using the Bernat Little Tots. This pattern is Karen Simply Soft, and again you can substitute anything that you wish in order to make it work as long as the hook complements the yarn. So let's begin with the slip knot to start with, and we're going to do that and slip into your hook. So this, remember, this never counts as one. So we're gonna do in groups of 25. I'm only gonna do 2 groups of 25 for this tutorial sample today because that's all I need to show you. And so basically I'm going to show you how to get started. So let's start now, and we're gonna chain 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So this is my first chevron here. This is 25. The pattern calls for 180 chains, and which will give you 7 chevrons if you wish to follow that. So I'm gonna do another group of so I can get another chevron. So there'll be 2 chevrons in my sample. So I'm gonna start over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Now at the very end I want you to add 5. So once you get to the end of the length that you want, I want you to add 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I was on Facebook this morning and people said that doesn't make any sense, and let me show you why it makes sense to add 5. So right in the very beginning we have 2 chains right here, so there's 2, and then here we have 3, and people are saying it's off balance by doing 3 on this side. Remember that when you go to do something like this, it will say single crochet second chain from the hook, so in order to do that you have to chain an extra 1 to get to the second. So that's why there is 3 on this side and only 2 on that side. Now going back to the pattern, I want to point out something to you, and I've circled these red circles right here. So these are red right in the middle, and so you'll notice that in the very beginning on the sides here that you're only ever skipping over 1 chain, okay, when we go to start, and in the middle we're always skipping over 2. But when we get to the next rows higher, we're only ever gonna skip over 1 single crochet here on both sides, and in the middle it'll always be these 2 that we're skipping over. So if you look here, this single crochet and this single crochet has nothing in it when it comes to the next rounds that we go up higher. So you can see this is why I have circled that. It's because in the next row we're actually skipping over top of them just like this. So this kind of makes sense. So it wasn't very obvious to me on how the repeat pattern was going because of the way it's starting. So what's happening here is on the very ends, and it's hard to notice right now, but you'll see that it comes down and comes up just for a couple stitches. This makes it come back in balance here. Okay, so you kind of see that it kind of comes up and then it levels off on the sides, and that's because you're doing that extra 2 chains at the, or 2 single crochets at the end. It makes it look a lot more cleaner for the edge. So if you're thinking the designers are kind of out for lunch, it actually makes a lot of sense, and it actually makes your Afghan sit down better as well when you do it on the edge like this. So let's begin. We're going to skip over the first chain and go to the second, and I'm gonna turn the chain around to the back and get the back hump only. And I'm going to single crochet once into the first one, and then the next chain is just 1 single crochet. Okay, so now we're on the side, so we're gonna skip over the next chain and go immediately to the next one over, and we're going to single crochet the next 11, and I'm gonna need to count that, so I can't tell you any advice right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. This is 9. And this is 10 and 11. So there's 11, and this is gonna go up one side. So let me pull this diagram back to show you. So what's happening here is that you'll see that I put 11 single crochets here. So there's gonna be 11 single crochets that sit by themselves, and all sides coming up and down on all of that. So there's your 11. So then the next one we're going to put 3 single crochets into the next chain. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So just like we came up and did this, so we're at the top of the peak now. So you can kind of see this juts up like a check mark up on the very side here. This is going up, and now we're gonna go down the other side. So that means that there's 11 single crochets going down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now that you have your 11 here, now you're in between, so you're no longer on the edge. So all of the ones in between, okay, other than the edge, will all have 2 chains skipping. Okay, so we're gonna skip over the 2 next chains, so 1 and 2, go to the third one over, and then just begin to single crochet another 11 going up the other side. So I want to make sure I'm getting the right side. So 1 and 2 and go into the third. Okay, and then we're going to do the 11. So this is the bottom peak. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So there's 11 going up the other side. So then the next one will be on the top peak, so then there's gonna be 3 single crochets there. So 1, 2, and 3. So let's go back down the other side again. We're almost done this chain. So you can kind of see that the chevron is actually starting to take effect. And so let's go down 11. So let's do this. So 1, 2, 3, this is 4, this is 5, 6, it's 7, and 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now we're on the edge, so this means that we're gonna skip over 1, so 1, and then the final 2 chains will be just 1 single crochet each. So I actually didn't lose count at all. Kind of surprised by that, but this is good. So we're just gonna single crochet into the final 2, and so that's row number 1. So the row number 1 is always the slowest one of these, and then now it's gonna speed up a little bit. So let's turn our work and we're gonna come back in the other direction now. So this time what we have to do, that you'll notice that there's actually kind of a 3-dimensional look. We're gonna be playing within the back loops of each of these rows as we continue along in every row as we go. So let's look at this really carefully here. I know it's kind of hard to tell in this yarn, but every one of these stitches are made up of 2 loops. Okay, so let me pull those apart so you see 1 and 2. Just like there. We want to play within the back loop, so the loop that is furthest away from you. So let's start our first one, and we're going to chain 1 first, and then into the very first one of where the chain is coming out of, we want to go to the back loop only, and we're gonna single crochet, and we're gonna do 2 in a row. So there's 1, and then the next one, again the back loop is for 2. Okay, so we're gonna skip over, this is the edge, so we're gonna skip over the next single crochet, and we're going to back loop single crochet 11. So 1, 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 11. But let me tell you a secret right now. So we've gone up 11. Because we have skipped 1 down here, is that this 11 will take you to the first one of the set of 3 that are on the top. So we have the first one of the set of 3 already filled in with the back loop, and so the middle one of the 3 single crochets will have 3 single crochets into the back loop on its own to maintain that point at the top. And then we're gonna come down this one here, and we're gonna go for another 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we have 11 coming down, and now we're in between the bottom spoke. Okay, Okay, you see it's like this. We're gonna skip over the next two, so 1 and 2, go to the third one and go to the third back for the back loop for single crochet. So we just skipped the 2 middle ones right in the center so that we can keep that point still facing down. So that's 1 of 11. So let's do 2. This is 3. This is 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9, 10 and 11. So this will take you back to the center again, and there's the next one, which is the direct middle of the 3 single crochets, and so the middle one at the top is going to be 3 single crochets on its own again. Okay, so let's go down the other side. So that's gonna be 11. So 1 and that's 2, 3, and this is 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So then we're gonna skip over only 1 because we're on the edge, and then we're gonna single crochet into the back loops of the final 2, and that completes this line. So I'm gonna get you started one more time because this is all the stitch is. It's that easy, and you can see that it's really starting to take its shape now, and now as each row goes up it'll take better. So let's turn around and begin again. To begin again, we're just going to simply chain up 1, and again back loop only into the very first one, single crochet and into the next, and because you're on the edge you're only gonna skip 1 single crochet, go to the second over and do 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and then 8, 9, 10 and 11. So then once you get that done, the next one will be this very center one again, and so there'll be 3 single crochets there, and then coming back down the other side, so for 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So we have 11 coming down. We're in the center now in between the work, so we're no longer on the edge. So that means that we're gonna skip over 2 and go to the third and then go up for 11. So 1, 2 and 3, 4, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So the next one is the very top, just like so. So you got 1, 2 and 3 right into the top, and then back down the other side. So we're gonna go 1, 2, that's 3, 4 and that's 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9, 10 and 11. So once you get the 11 in, you're gonna skip the next one and go and get the last 2 and into the back loops as well. So this is how you would do the chevron, just like so, and you can use this for the baby blanket. You can use this for any size Afghan that you wish. You can go to the total sizes that you wish. It really makes an outstanding look when you go to do this technique. It is three-dimensional on both sides, so you will have the raised edges on both sides, and in the right colors this could be an amazing project to work with. Till next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com.